Start this off with a bit of a history lesson because it really speaks to why we do what we do. So let's get started. So the year is 1482. Leonardo da Vinci is attempting to work for the Duke of Milan. He crafts a document that focuses on his skills that align specifically with the Duke's needs. And today we call that document the resume. So for 541 years, that system has remained relatively the same. Applicant tracking systems have been added to help filter out resumes that don't align with job descriptions. And now we have applicants that just readjust their resume in an attempt to make their way past that applicant tracking system. Resumes no longer reflect who we are or who we want to be professionally. They offer too many opportunities for discrimination, whether conscious or unconscious. Even an individual's name in itself can add opportunities for bias. For example, my maiden name is Leonila Virginia Popjoy Pantoja. And let me tell you, if you see that on a resume, some people might not even want to have an interview with me because they don't know how to say my name. I'm thankful that now, I got married and I got to change my name and I just go by Neela Thompson. It's a little easier. But that offers areas for discrimination just by being, one, a female, two, my name. Employment history can reflect the age of a person, whether young or old. Using emails such as AOL, Yahoo, Hotmail, not only can reflect your age, but can reflect security concerns on behalf of the company. So the whole system is broken. So what if there was a different way to connect employers and qualified candidates? A better way? Well, there is. In 2018, U.S. Navy veteran Robin Grable asked that very same question. She wanted to create a way for candidates to be seen for what mattered. And that's the skills that they brought to an organization. So with 30 years of HR experience, she went to work to create Kate, our career AI talent equalizer, which is what we affectionately call the Talents Ascend platform. Kate does the work to make connecting employers and candidates easily and effectively. So employers using Talents Ascend can easily add a career profile into our platform in just a few minutes. They simply adjust the skills, traits, and location for the position. And they can adjust the salary range for the people that, within this salary that they're looking for. On the other side of that, our candidates, they create one profile. Not a million different resumes for each job posting, but one profile listing key information, the skills that you bring to the table, the skills that you want to use in that next career. You put in your ideal salary range and locations you're looking to work. So that could be multiple states. So if you're in transition, maybe you're moving and you still have a few states open. Say you're looking at Florida, Texas, South Carolina. You put those 3 states in, and then you can start matching with employers in that area. So with all of this information, Kate goes to work finding the best matches for each career profile. Employers receive matches to candidates instantly. And that gets reflected every morning. So as we have new candidates into the system, those best matches are rematched. For employers with veteran or disabled community hiring initiatives, we've actually added options to source specifically in those talent pools. And our military and veteran community actually gets priority matching on our platform. We've removed any bias. So when an employer previews a matched candidate, they only get a look at their skills, traits, salary, and location. The rest of the profile is locked. And the reason we do this is because we're trying to alleviate that unconscious bias. They don't know if this person is male or female. They don't know any sort of demographics. They're only seeing what relevant information they need to see to move forward with an interview. So once the contact is unlocked, they can look at all of their information and make a decision on whether this person is going to get an interview. They contact our candidates directly for an interview, whether using our internal messaging service, text, email, or phone. It really is that simple. So Talents Ascend is saving time for those human aspects of building that team. The Ascend brand also includes the Ascend Collective, our nonprofit division. So through the Ascend Collective, we are able to support our underserved communities through advocacy, mentorship, resources, and more. Oftentimes, these three communities are overlooked and underemployed, and the Ascend Collective is looking to change that. Our first community, our most important, because this is how we started as Veterans Ascend, we work with our military and veteran families. So whether you're still serving and in transition, whether you're a veteran of any era, any discharge status, military and veteran spouses, and working age dependents. Our other community is Ability Ascend, and this works with people with disabilities. And our last one is Mission to Ascend. And this particular community is for people who have been justice involved. So additionally, the Ascend Collective works with employers to help them understand the value of these communities, what they can bring to the organizations, and help them with resources to help implement new initiatives. So we welcome you to follow both Talents Ascend and the Ascend Collective on social media. We share our latest updates on the organizations, tips, tricks, resources, and other valuable information for both employers and candidates. And if you want to learn more about Talents Ascend, you can visit our website at talentsascend.com. And if you want to learn more about the Ascend Collective, you can visit theascendcollective.org. I appreciate the time today. I'm going to put my information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I can tell you more about how our platform works.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. So hopefully some people already have some questions in there. Maybe I could just start you off with one. So as far as jobs and employers that are there, what fields are you mainly focused on? Any field, or is it more IT, HR, whatever?
Oh, no, we have careers across the board. We work with all types of employers. So that is, of course, IT, HR, we have construction, we have pharmaceutical. We're starting work pretty soon here with an agriculture company. We have careers across the board. We work with railroad industries too. So we are looking for, if you've ever wanted to be a railroad conductor, we've got positions for you. Who doesn't want to drive the train?
Choo choo. Okay.
Choo.
Yeah, real estate, I guess Vanessa's asking about. So I'm sure you have the gamut, right?
Yes.
Not listing
all 50 states.
Okay. And basically both remote, on-site, hybrid, whatever,
Yes.
Okay. So, but yeah, go ahead, guys. This is for you. Feel free to go ahead and raise your hand, post questions. Yes.
So we have a 98% match rate, and we go on the match rate because we can get you to the interview, but we can't do the interview for you. So we calculate our success by match rate. But if you're having trouble with interviews, that's what the Ascend Collective is for, to help you with that process, to help get you prepared to do those kind of things.
Another good resource for the folks that are on this is if you also have issues like, interviewing is not your thing or your first interview, don't let your first interview be your first interview. Canderful provides you with 3 interviews, right? They put together a team of people in industry that will ask you questions and help you, critique you on exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it. These programs like Talent Ascend, Canderful, they're there to help you, but you still have to do your own due diligence. You will still have to like lean forward into it, right? Understand what the company's culture is, understand what their mission, their vision, the roles that you're applying for, know what you're going to say about that role, know how you can add value to that role. All those things are things that you have to bring to the table to add value to that company, because essentially it's just how a company's interviewing you just as much as you're interviewing them. And so you want to be able to make sure you have questions set up so you can understand what your role will be, what's the need, and what's the most important thing that the company's trying to ascertain, or what goals or milestone they're trying to hit by hiring you. If I fill this role and I'm doing this role within the next 12 months, what is it that you want from me from this role? What is your goals with this particular role? So those are some things to think about.
There was a question in the chat. How do you charge for your services? Candidates are never charged. For our candidates, everything we do is free. Our entire team is made up of veterans and military spouses, because that's our community. That's the community we started with, and we have we want to make sure when we're taking care of that community that the people that work for us really understand what it is to go through those transitions, whether you're a service member or a military spouse. Because as a military spouse myself, I have history gaps in my resume. I know what it is to have to PCS all the time and have those chunks missing in my work history. And that's what I loved when I met Robin. It's what I loved most about the program is people were no longer seeing me for my resume. They were seeing me for the skills that I brought to the table. And I myself matched to this position for Talents Ascend, because we use our own system when we hire, of course. So we never charge our community for any of our services. The only way we make money is our employers purchase memberships, and they are allowed. We don't pay. There's no hidden fees. They don't get charged per hire. They have unlimited unlocks. They can unlock as many profiles as they want with their membership, so they can source as many candidates as they need to, because at the end of the day, we want our people to get hired in good careers. So our bottom line is people. And I will place the QR code back in the chat.
Yeah, or if you want to just share that slide deck, and the last slide, if you can just share so people can snap.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So anybody else has any questions about, I'm sure everybody is looking for some kind of job, or potentially, yes. So any questions, even about the process itself?
Yeah,
okay.
we have one question. Are the colleges listed in the information the employees receive? Are colleges listed?
Yes.
Okay.
Once they're unlocked, they can see certain certifications. But once your profile's unlocked, yes, you can see college experience.
Awesome. Feel free to come off mute if you guys have any questions, or put your questions in.
So Peter was talking about for people who do not have any certs, or trying to, I guess, maybe also for career switchers. Do you have?
You don't have to have certifications. We've got a team that works with our candidates. So if you have any issues, let us know. We'll connect you with one of our relationship managers and help you build your profile.
Okay. And your partnerships with employers, does it involve public sector as well, or mostly private? What type of employers do you have looking at?
So yes, public, private, we have small and large. So there's going to be, especially when you're doing job search, a lot of times we have no job boards. That's one thing. You don't have to search through job boards with us, because we match you. You get to create a profile, and then we notify you when you match. We notify you when you get unlocked. So you're getting notified. You can do any of your other job boards or somewhere else, but not with us. So think of all those companies that you're not even looking at because you don't even know them, those small companies. We've got a lot of those that we work with. They're great organizations to work for, but you don't even think of them because they're not names that you see on TV or on social media all the time.
So you're saying basically people will just go there. There's a certain profile you have to, you're not listing previous jobs and job duties. You're listing what skills you possess for those jobs in your career.
Yeah.
Right.
So for our veterans, we've actually created skill sets for every single MOS, for every single branch into our system. So you can put in your MOS and it auto-populates skills to every MOS that you put in there, because we've done that work for you. You're not trying to guess those skills. If you have previous employment, you can also put what that job description was. We've got that built in as well. And those populate skills. And then you whittle it down to 25 skills that you want to use. And that's how you build your profile. You can also add additional skills that you may have in that 25 skills. But we've built those libraries in.
And are candidates able to edit those skills to
Absolutely.
their particular? Yeah. So let's say you were E5 25 Bravo in the Army, or a fuel tech in the Navy. I don't know what they call those.
And you don't want anything to do with any of that anymore?
Yes.
Yes,
for example,
you can eliminate all of those. You can adjust your skill profile as much as you want. We even give you feedback. So if you get unlocked and an employer decides that you're not the right candidate, they have to tell us why. And that feedback goes back to your profile. So not only are you getting notified that you've been unlocked and someone's viewed your profile, you actually get feedback. Let me ask you, how many resumes have you ever put out there and never heard a word about it? Because I can tell you as a military spouse how many people I'm still waiting for that call back.
No.
You might as well just keep on going. You're not going to get that call, but you actually get feedback so you can make improvements on your profile.
And then one other question we had was related to HBCUs. What about people that went to HBCUs? Would there be a bias revealed for some employers?
There shouldn't be. Now, they have to be members of ours in order to use our platform if they're sourcing for employment.
Okay.
And I do want to also say that we work with recently graduated students as well. So if you've recently graduated, we have a special category for you as well.
Awesome. So military.
And do you just do?
Yeah.
It's all built into your profile.
Okay. Somebody was asking about children of veterans. I would assume like maybe military dependents, let's say 17 plus or 18 plus, can they use the platform too?
Absolutely. So if they're 18 and older, they can use the platform.
Nice. Awesome. Love the questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute as well, or you just keep posting and share with us. Okay. What about graduation, college graduation, or anything like this? Like, I guess some people are wondering about ageism. Okay.
Right. And that's one of the things we try and eliminate, which is why we don't use a resume. Because your work history, if someone sees your work history, they get an idea how old you are. I'm not a young buck anymore. People can see my work history and know that I've been in the business for a while.
We have another question about cyber. The individual wants to really get into cyber. They recently complete their cyber degree. Do you have cyber opportunities on your platform as well, or IT and cyber related opportunities?
Yes.
Awesome. So
I guess the full gamut. So when we, specifically earlier we mentioned public companies versus private and whatnot, but I guess some people, they might understand federal. public is not necessarily federal, but do you have federal? That's
Federal is a whole new gambit because USA Jobs has
lot.
the corner on that
Yes.
market.
Mhm.
And the federal government is not going to be changing that anytime soon. We do have state and county jobs, but federal is a whole different ballgame.
Angel, what do you say? What do you mean when a non-graduate, like you don't have a college degree?
You don't have to have a college degree.
And now, not to put you on the spot, but what is the success rate that you guys have had so far as people landing jobs maybe this year, or a testimonial that you have that
I can tell you one of my favorite stories. I was at a dinner here. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I was at a dinner and a military spouse came up to me and she told me the story about her husband. And she said, I love Talents Ascend because he had such a difficult time trying to find a job and they were trying to move back to Baltimore. And so he created a profile, and 2 days later, he was contacted by a company in Baltimore, hired and moved there within a week and a half.
There you go.
And I still talk to them because I love their story. He messaged me on LinkedIn not too long ago. He had his 1-year anniversary and he said, "Hey, Neela, I just want you to know I'm still loving my job." And that's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's my favorite story because they found him for the skills he really wanted to use in his next career. And he was chosen for those skills. He didn't have to manipulate himself to fit in someone else's box. He got to be himself and be chosen for who he was. And he's still at that company.
That's awesome.
So one of my favorite stories.
Once there was a question earlier about Skill Bridge and also about internships. Do you have any of those opportunities and how often do they come up?
Yes, we are currently accepting applications for SkillBridge.
Awesome.
So if you go to our website,
HR, what kind of duties? So you go to the website and understand the duties,
if you
job
go
description.
if you go to the website, you'll see the list of opportunities. Where we're working with those opportunities right now are with Talents Ascend and the Ascend Collective. We're currently having conversations with an organization that wants to partner with us for SkillBridge. We'll let you know if that advances. The most important thing to us is that if we bring someone in for SkillBridge, not only are they learning skills for their next, civilian position, we want to make sure that they're transitioning correctly, that the whole person has that transition experience, so they're more successful when they do find that first job out. So we are very careful when it comes to our transitioning service members. We're not just going to throw you somewhere and say sink or swim. We're gonna make sure you've got the life vest on, that you've got every resource that we can give you to be successful.
Oh, absolutely. So we have a few more questions, and this is from LinkedIn. Someone says, I'm in healthcare, very diverse background. However, I am always told that I do not qualify or I'm overqualified. Says, how can I set my resume up to be successful? Well, for you, Nicole, like Nella said, this doesn't require you to have a resume. It's really based off of your skill sets. So I would just say, just go on Talents Ascend's website, fill that information out, and then specify what type of interest you have in healthcare and your skill sets, and then the employers that are connected to those type of tags will look at your profile and unlock it. Is that correct to say?
Yes.
Okay. And then one other person asked if is there any real estate programs or things associated with Talents Ascend? I guess, do you guys have real estate employers?
We do not have real estate employers at this moment, but if you're interested in that, I've got some friends in that industry. I'm always happy to make connections. One of our best assets is networking, right?
Mhm.
So if you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. If you need a resource, let me know, and I'll connect you with the best person I have. If I don't have the information, I'm going to connect you to the right people, because that's what we do when we support people. We connect them to the right person.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're interested in, cybersecurity roles, healthcare roles, just log onto their website, see what they have available, touch base with them, fill out your profile and put your skill sets, and so employers can reach out to you. So this is not like your typical I'm going to apply for a job and get rejection letters and that nature. It's going to be more so you'll get indications that your profile is being reviewed, and you get indications that employers unlocked your profile, meaning you'll get a better understanding of who is it that's looking for you and looking at your skill sets, and then going from there. Now, the other question, I didn't see this, but most people do ask me this. I get tons of this. Is any of the jobs remote on there? Do you have remote jobs?
Yes, we have remote jobs as well.
Okay. So if you guys hit me up, DM me talking about, hey, Jay, you got any remote jobs? You know where I'm sending you. So you might as well just jump on it now. Awesome. Okay. Any other questions before we close out with Nyla?
Yeah, I have a question I might have missed it. I joined like maybe 2 or 3 minutes later than the actual Zoom meeting start.
Okay.
But I was wondering about the requirements for accessing the Coursera and the Splunk.
Yeah, that we'll do
Yes.
that
So,
at the
I guess.
end. We'll do that at the end. So we usually cover down on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I appreciate it. Thank you, brother.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I'll be on for a little while answering some questions.
Thank you very much, Neela, for being here and sharing with us about your organization. Absolutely wonderful. So if you have any questions, connect with Neela on LinkedIn. Try to get on the website, create an account, and set up your account and try to put your skills. I like to say, put your best foot forward. Okay. And, they will connect you with the employers. Not gonna basically it's like a fire and forget kind of deal, right? You put your profile in there and wait for the companies to actually unlock your profile, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So how was that?
Awesome.
Mike D, was that helpful? He's like, are they calling me? Yeah, brother, we calling you.
Yes, I didn't yeah, man. That's incredible. And the fact that it's a service that is being provided complimentary, like is unreal. So thank you, Team Ascend, for being here and blessing us with this information. And I certainly will be reaching out here shortly, because I'm in that student category of finishing up software dev and looking to make that switch out of a finance career that's got me run down. So
that's what's up. Michelle M, what about you? How do you feel about the information? She's like, I can't find the unmute button.
Yeah, sorry, trying to find the unmute. Honestly, it sounds amazing. I like how she was saying it's unbiased, and a lot of people are asking, because I'm older as well, and I'm a Navy spouse. My husband's active duty Navy, and so I have a huge gap in my employment. As you can see, my little ones are running around me. So the fact that she says that they just look at your skills and not as what you have been doing for a while is music to my ears.
Awesome. So this is what we do, and this is how we do it. Thank you for your feedback, both of you, because we really want to be able to highlight programs that you may not be aware of. Speaking of which, AB is going to go into 2 programs, and I know if you've read the titles, we talked about the PMP Study Group and Scrum, so he's going to talk about that. Go ahead, AB, you got it.
All right. Thanks for putting me on the spot. So, all right. Thanks, Neela, for sharing the QR codes here in the chat. Okay. I would encourage everyone to go and create your account. Some people already did, so that is beautiful to see.
Oh, and one other thing. I'm sorry. When you guys do this and you guys get a job, make sure you tag us. Definitely
and
tag us.
tag Talent Ascend.
Yes, tag us
and
in Talent Ascend on LinkedIn or Facebook. However, just let us know so we can celebrate your win.
Absolutely, it's all about creating your own tribe once you leave the service. Okay, don't be alone. Nobody's alone. We're not going to go into a tangent right now as far as like why you don't need to be alone and why you need to create a tribe, but you understand 22 and all this sort of stuff. Okay, so networking is key. Knowing how to leverage various resources appropriately is awesome. And with good organizations like Talent Ascend and others, we can make headway into not having to worry about 22 a day and all this sort of stuff. Okay. Otherwise, a couple of other programs that I would like to discuss prior to going into the topic of the hour. Everybody keeps asking about Coursera, but before that, bear with us a little bit. So we have two things that we're trying to establish here with ACNO at the end of July, or 24 July to 18 August. And I'm going to put the stuff in the chat anyway, that we have an awesome PMP instructor, Chris McPhee, retired Green Beret, been in the workforce for a long time, PMP instructor, and we had great success. Some of our students in the Bravo cohort had great success with him teaching the PMP. So this is not a 3-cert program or anything like this. This is more of a study cohort, a power study cohort for anybody interested in obtaining their PMP. If you have already completed a PMP course, 35-hour PDU course for PMP, okay, and you hopefully, again, Peter, you're trying to make me pull on my passive aggressive way of saying this. I already shared it before. PMP is project management professional. Not putting you on the spot, but there's this great website called lmgtfy.com. Stands for let me Google that for you. Okay. If you're a Navy guy, the joke is even better because I'm an Army guy.
He's most likely Army. He's most likely Army. Army.
Awesome. But no, this is we're here all together, just joking and trying to have share some information. Okay, so PMP is for the project management professional. Okay, certification. A lot of people are transitioning from the Army, and you have this whole idea about, everybody in the military has been a project manager of some kind. Yes, I understand that. And then you need to have certification here out in the civilian world. Okay, so what we have is, I'm gonna post in the chat the details for this PMP course. This is the last, we already advertised it a couple of times before. I have a sign up sheet in there. Okay, if you are willing and ready to study on a sprint with Chris McPhee, it would be good to sign up for it. Be ready to know already about it. Okay, when you come in, Chris is not necessarily going to take you by the hand, but it's more about a power study session for the month, from 24 July to 18 of August, Tuesday and Thursday in the evening, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I've already got about 10 people identified. We had some more people that qualify. At least you have to have the 35 hours PMP course completed. Ideally, submitted your PMI application with the Project Management Institute. It's going to be free. It doesn't cost you anything, but we do not provide any vouchers for certification. Okay, if you need to, there's other resources to get it, either through O2O with the Syracuse University, Institute of Veterans and Military Families, or some other organization, or whichever other method. Okay.
Well, what we can say is we're not going to guarantee everyone will get a voucher. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So if you do what you need to do, you do your due diligence, hit it hard, your voucher might be covered. Let's just say it that way.
Again, it's not guaranteed. We'll see how it works. Okay. Jay have spoken. All right. So we'll see. The second one that I'm going to share with you guys here is—
hold on, before we do, where is our military spouses in the group? If you're a military spouse, put a 3 in the chat for us so we know where our military spouses are, for those who are on the call.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Deep. We love it. That's it. Military spouses always show up. Like, we love it. Like, absolutely. Military spouses get to it. All right. Go ahead, AB. You got it.
Okay, so for the second one, what we're trying to do specifically for military spouses is our Cert to Success program, which is going to be a 3-week certification study cohort, targeted at military spouses to earn your professional Scrum Master certification. We have an awesome instructor as well, Adriana Mitchell. The course, is going to be in 3 weeks. The first week will be the study for the PSM and earning your certification. So Monday through Friday, every night, weeknights from 6 to 10 p.m. 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I'm gonna post the sign-up sheet again in the chat and the details. All right. And the first week will be dedicated to studying for the PSM and signing up for the exam, earning your PSM1. The second 2 weeks will be dedicated for a couple of projects, learning how to work as a part of a group in a Scrum setting, so that you can add that to your resume. And then we'll try to help, either you go on, like, let's say Talent Ascent, or go to, submit the resumes, or we can help each other if we have, positions we can share. But this is what it's for. The sign-up sheet is separate. So basically, I have links for either of them. Okay. If you're in a PMP study group, go ahead and sign up in that one. I'm going to look at them by next week. I already sent some emails to interested folks, received some confirms. And right now I'm trying to add some, again, one more time, advertising for people who are interested and qualifying, as well as the second program right now for the military spouses. Please go ahead, and both of them have sign-up sheets. So I try to include all of the relevant information for you to make your decision about how to study for, which one to sign up for, and if it will conform to your schedule. Somebody already said that for the PMP study group, we don't have, the dates will not concord with his schedule. If we have it again in the fall, it's not guaranteed right now because we have other projects going on for Act Now. So there's this one right now. Later on, if we have something going on, we have the ability, the opportunity to present it again, we'll do so. Okay.
Yeah, and then just to be clear, the second program, our Cert to Success, it's only focused on military spouses. This particular class is going to be, this cohort, this is our first run for this cohort, is going to be only focused on military spouses. Military spouses sacrifice a lot, and we want to make sure that we identify an opportunity that's just geared towards their success. All our programs, obviously, across the board are for everyone in the military. So anyone could do a 3-cert cohort. Anyone can take advantage of our Coursera, our Splunk, and then folks can also take advantage of the PMP study group that we have set up. But we wanted to dedicate this, and this is in partnership with the Military Spouse Employment Program. And what we're doing is putting this together so that we can help military spouses identify career opportunities, and take advantage of certification opportunities. And so the next Cert to Success is going to be probably focused on another group, but for this first one that we're kicking off is dedicated to military spouses. For our 3-cert cohort, I know a lot of people have questions about that. What our 3-cert cohort is, for those who this is the first time hearing it, our 3-cert cohort provides you with 3 certifications. So the last one that we just did with Bravo, this is our second iteration, but the last one that we did with Bravo is touch base on Sec Plus, PMP, and Scrum, and then provided a professional business suit, tailor-made resume, and then we also helped you connect to a Fortune 500 mentor and got you access to interview prep. And that's all in our certification process. And it's an 8-week course, 8 to 9 week course, depending on the certifications that we put in there. And so we just completed Bravo, and then the next year we're going to do Charlie. So for those who are interested in Charlie, we're pushing that to next year because we have a lot of things going on this year. We have the PMP Study Group. We got the Scrum for military spouses. Then we have the MIC event that we're going to be doing, Military Influencer Conference event that we're going to be doing. And then so next year, most likely, that's when we'll start to do our next 3-cert cohort and offer those things. So yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff that we're trying to put out. All this stuff is free. There's no cost to it. There's no associated money that you have to worry about paying for it. But so it's just our way of giving back to the community and being able to foster a community that supports the community that we're a part of. So yeah, what else you got, AB?
Just a couple of DMs. So yeah, when I say military spouse or you say military spouse, we mean military spouse. Yeah. You can be a veteran, you can be whatever. If you are a spouse, you are a spouse. Okay, even if you were a veteran before, it doesn't matter. Your spouse, you know, we respect and we support, and this program is for you. Okay.
Yeah. So there's no limitations on spouses. Is like not like. I know a lot of programs do have, you know, a focal point on what type of spouse you are, but we don't do that. You're a spouse, you're a spouse.
And that's it for me. So I guess you want to go into the rest of the festivities and tackle the Coursera thing?
All right. So I'm going to go over, yeah, that's a good point. We can kind of touch base on that.
You want to stop the thing on LinkedIn or?
Say again?
You want to stop the stuff on LinkedIn or just continue here or keep on both?
Yeah, we'll just continue pushing along just so we can show folks. Probably one thing that we will want to share though is our notebook so that people are aware of that. Do you have that ready or you want me to pull that up? Let's see.
Go ahead.
All right, got it. All right, I'm going to share with you just one of the resources before, because we still got some time. Like I said, we're going to do it on the hour, but let me get to our notebook.
One small detail with Jay. Yes, we're covering the exam costs for the PSM in the military spouse cohort.
Yes, absolutely. The military. Actually, let's answer any questions people may have.
Yes, go ahead. Quick Q&A time. Yeah. Anybody has any questions about what we just covered right now?
Lindsay, do you have any questions? Megan's like, are they calling me?
I have a quick question. What is the main difference between the course that you have for the spouses and like I just, as a veteran, I also had access to the WISE Scrum Master course. So is there a difference in what you get out of those?
I'm not familiar with the WISE Scrum. Can you kind of explain what that is?
Well, I had heard of it through other veterans, and I can send the link. But they actually offer a free certification class for getting to be a Scrum Master. I think when I looked, the cost of the course was $700, but it's free for veterans. I don't think it's necessarily spouses. I think it's specifically veterans. Okay. So I signed up for that, and I didn't know if it was different, but I'd have to look it up. But I can pop the link in there if you're interested.
Yeah, if you can share that. I've never heard of that one before. I am familiar with Patriots for Agile for Patriots, which is another organization that does fund Scrum certifications. And the way that they do it is they offer you one certification for free, but you can go to all the training that they have. So Scrum obviously has, product owner, product manager, product owner, Scrum master, and then I guess like a list of other different certifications. But you can get all the training for free, but the first one they actually pay for the certification for you to become a Scrum master. For us, we're focusing on mainly providing you with the certification, and then you're actually going to do an actual sprint. And so there's projects that we have that you're going to work on with your team to get that done, and you're going to actually go through the whole process of doing it. Typically, when you're going through the cohorts or different organizations, they give you kind of like a make-believe. This one, you're actually doing a project. So you'll be working on a project. It's something, experience that you can claim. And the overall effect is whatever project that you're working on is going to have an effect on 64,000 people within the military community. And so we wanted to be able to provide you with an opportunity to be able to say tangibly, we did this thing, I executed on this, and this is what we're a part of. So that's what's different for our military spouse program that we're running. Cool.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Awesome. Megan, did you have a question? Megan V?
No, I didn't have a question.
Oh, awesome. Any other questions or comments or concerns?
Actually, I'm wondering if you guys have any like courses for cloud computing type stuff like Azure or AWS.
So Azure, Azure courses on Microsoft, every so often they do their challenge. They do like their 30-day challenge, which essentially you get through their course material and you can take the exam for free. Also, one thing to note is, so you can sign up for that. That's available to anybody. You don't necessarily have to be in the military community. One other thing that they do is on their sites, on their training sites, they offer courses that cover topics. So like they'll talk about cloud computing, or they'll talk about AI, whatever that the topic that they have. If you sign up for those courses and the courses align with a certification, most people don't know this, but at the end of the course, they actually give you the chance to actually earn the certification. So they'll give you the voucher so that you can do the certification. So you can use that to help you knock out that. One other thing is, if you have a Coursera account with us, Coursera, we have I think the Google has some cloud certifications on there, or IBM has some cloud certificates on there that you can earn for free. And our Coursera accounts are free, 1 year. You don't have to pay for them. So if you're paying $400 a year and you're a military member or a veteran or transition service member or military spouse, please don't do that. Just hit us up and get our accounts. But yeah, cool. Does that help?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. What other questions you guys have? Good. Spence, any questions?
No, not yet. Just waiting for you guys to pass on that information about the Coursera.
Okay.
But I'm patient.
Awesome. All right. Good. So let's hit it up now. For those who are waiting, I see Peter. He's waiting. He's focused with the headset on. And we're gonna pass you the Coursera information, the Splunk information. So let me pull this up for you guys, so you can see the process that we have for this. All right. So I'm just going to run you down the overall process so you can kind of understand it. If at any point you are like, I don't remember, all this information is provided to you on the website. So it could be all found on our website. So let me share this. Okay. And do you guys see my screen here? All right. Let me make sure the folks can see the screen. And
Yeah, I can see it.
all right, awesome. So the first thing is intending orientation, right? And then I'm going to give you guys a code, and this code and the URL is what you're going to use that code for. The code is only good for this link. It's not good for anything else. So you use it to finish the URL. Once you do that, is because it's going to ask you for your email. Once you do that, then you go to our website and pick a program. And currently right now, the programs that we have running are the Splunk and Coursera. And so when we have other programs, we'll list them on our sites so you can apply to them. You don't have to redo this URL survey, code and survey. Once you do it, it's a one and done. So you do it one time and then you get access to our resources. You follow the steps that's listed on the website, because we'll have our steps listed out, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then you have to join our Facebook group. You have to be a part of our community in order to take advantage of our resources. Fill out the application, and then you're good to go, and you'll get access to it. And so let me share the code. And unfortunately, for those who may be listening on other platforms or devices, we only share the code to those who are on our actual Zoom call. And so if you're interested in being able to get access to our resources, you definitely do have to be a part of the Zoom call in order to get access to it. And so, but this will be good for you to see exactly what our resources are. All right, and so here is the code, and here is the URL that you need access to. So I'm sharing in the link, so please save this. But there it is. You guys will see it there. Use that code and that URL link to access it. I'm going to show you what that site looks like here in a second. Okay, it's taking some time. It's coming. It's coming up. All right, let me stop sharing this and switch my screen. All right, so I don't know if you guys are seeing this here. There we go. All right. But this is what it looks like. At least the first part of it is you put your name, your email, the date that you attended orientation, and then the code that I just provided in the chat. Once you do that, you're good to go. You say, take me to survey, complete the survey. You're good to go. Don't have to ever do this again. And then from there, what you will do is you go to our website, Act Now Education. Can everyone see the screen? I just want to make sure everyone's good. Okay, good. There's a bunch of good information in here, but you go to programs, and on the programs, you'll see Coursera and Splunk. So you'll click on whichever one you're interested in. Mind you, they're only good for a year. So I would recommend just take advantage of one first and then look into the other one. If you're trying to get certifications and you want to get Splunk certified, where you want to be core user, power user, or I forgot the other one, advanced user, then you use the Splunk one. It does take some time, and you'll receive an email from us with roughly about a week or two, and then you'll apply to that. Once you complete the courses that they have listed, because they have several courses that you have to take. Once you complete the courses that they have listed, then you can get access to the actual exam voucher by just contacting us, letting us know, hey, I'm ready to take my Splunk certification, and we'll send you your voucher. You take the exam and get your certification, and it's free. And then you go to Coursera. For Splunk, anyone in our Act Now community, including military children or dependents, can access and get the certification. For Coursera, they each have their own requirements based off of the organizations that's giving us or donating us the resources. And so for Coursera, you have to be either a transition service member, a veteran military spouse, reservist or National Guard, reservist spouse or National Guard spouse. And if you are active duty, you have to have more than 18 years in the military, and you'll get a free account. But if you don't have that and you're transitioning, as long as you're a year out from your transition, then you can have access to it. And so you'll see that at the very top what the criteria is. And so as long as you meet one of these criteria, you're good to go. Right? The link is in here to join our Facebook page. Please, if you do join our Facebook page, make sure that you put, you answer the information, you answer the questions. If you do not answer the questions, the likelihood of you getting into the group is slim to none. So answer the 3 questions, which is essentially your email address. And like I said, we don't spam. We don't have time for that. Everyone's volunteer in our organization. So we don't have time to send you a bunch of newsletters and things like that. We'll send you information only pertaining to whatever it is that you're applying for. So your email address, what's your military affiliation, and then your LinkedIn URL, because we want to verify that you are who you say you are. You attend orientation. We do orientations every Saturday. So if someone's interested in doing this and they missed this, every Saturday we do this. And every Saturday we bring different people. We talk about different topics. And typically we have the schedule posted on our Facebook right now. It says July, June. So we'll make sure we update that with what we're going to talk about for the rest of July. Yeah, the 3 questions, already talked about that. This step right here is once you are in the group, once you're in the Facebook group, and don't get confused because we have a Facebook page and we have a Facebook group. I'm only specifically talking about the group. Once you're in the Facebook group, you're going to come here where it says write something, and you're going to put your email address in this statement. Your email address in this statement. So this one obviously is for Coursera. Splunk has its own, so you would do this, but you do not put them in the same statement. You make sure you have separate statements because different people approve them. For Splunk, that is myself, and for Coursera, that is myself and AB, and for Coursera, that is Tyrone Hewitt. So if you are trying to get or having some issues with your Coursera, and you reach out to me saying, hey, Jay, I'm having issues trying to do this, which a lot of people do. I am not the person that manages Coursera. Tyrone Hewitt is the person that takes care of that. And so just so you know. And there's his face right there. So he's on there. This is the guy who does Coursera. But this is what your post would look like. It will not get pushed through to 64,000 people in our group. It'll only get pushed through the admin. We will see it. The moderators will see it. We won't push it forward. We'll deny the post and then create your account. So we're using those emails to verify your email address. So before we create your account, because if you put the wrong email address in there and we don't have any other instances of you sending us your email address, it could be difficult for you to get your account created. And so we have the survey, we have you joining the group, and we have your application to match the emails just to make sure that it's correct before we create your account. And believe it or not, a lot of people fat finger their email addresses, so it makes it helpful for us to be able to do that. And like I said, give us about a week or so. It takes about a week for us to create your account, and then we go from there. And this is just the rest of the information that we need on the application. Just fill out this, and then yeah, we'll create your account. So that's really it. What question do you have, Lindsay?
I just want to verify. So when we do all of that, is that when we're ready for the 1 year to start?
Yes, when you get your account, that's when the 1 year starts, based off of that email address you provided us. Okay.
Great, thank you.
And then for those who are, like I said, Splunk is in here as well, so you can use that. And then if you're looking for orientation or you're trying to figure out how to sign up for the next orientation, that link is in here as well. So you can just click on orientation, it'll come up, and then you can apply for orientation. You should get an email. If you don't, check your spam folder, what have you, and they'll be in there. And typically every orientation we do is different. We'll cover different topics. In the past, I've covered how to create a tailor-made resume within like 5 minutes, how to get a bachelor's degree in 6 months, roughly about from a year to 6 months, regionally accredited, how to pretty much knock that out. And we won't ever steer you wrong with the information we put out. We'll show you the facts behind it. We'll give you the guidance on it. We'll provide you with the application on how to do it. It's up to you to do the execution on how to see it through. And so that's what we always provide. There's a lot of resources out there that really can change the game for you. And that's the way that we kind of operate. So what other questions do you guys have?
One thing I just want to add to everybody, from a couple of the emails, from a couple of the messages here. So if you come to our page, actnoweducation.org, you click on the resources for Coursera, either Coursera or Scrum or Splunk, okay? We try to make the steps as Navy-proof as possible. If we have any Marines, they don't have to eat extra crayons to follow the steps programs, if you go to Coursera or Splunk. All right, so please try to follow the steps here. If there's any confusion, then we can manage it. But if not, please follow the steps and After that, give us about a week, okay, to do
Dude,
it.
AB, let me talk real quick.
Okay, there we go. We got the man
Tyrone
of
is
the
here.
hour.
Awesome, Tyrone.
Dude,
Okay.
we already have a post without the email. So I need everybody to understand. So I manage the Coursera program. It's either easy if all the steps are followed, and it's not when the steps aren't followed. So Jay mentioned, because I was just kind of sitting in the background, you got to put your email address in the post. And the reason why we do that is because I have to look for the application and their survey code, right? So I'm not going to name the name. Somebody just made a post without the email. Without the email, I can't find you. So the email is important. Sometimes people do fat finger, which I understand. I'll go a little bit deeper and try to go by name search, which that's really tough. But the post is important. You have to fill out the survey code. If you do the application on your phone, what I've noticed is sometimes that application doesn't submit, right? So when you go to that website that Jay showed,
I'll bring it up.
you have to fill out the information at the bottom, right? Fill it in and then hit submit. But those steps are important. If you're having issues, you guys can, usually people send me a message on LinkedIn, but emails are important, and that application, it has to be filled in because it's tough. I'll tell you, a lot of people miss some of those steps.
Russ. Tyrone,
But
how much time do you normally spend a week dealing with?
Man, it's like, it could be, sometimes it's up towards 20 or 25 hours a week.
And understand, people, we are not paid. We are all volunteers, right? And this is time and energy that we're focused on trying to help you guys out. So help us, help you, help us, help you.
And it's I mean, we'll do it. Just follow all the steps. Like I said, find me on LinkedIn, and I'll try to help out. I'll ask. Sometimes I do ask questions about verification, but that's just because, like Jay said, this money's given to us, so we have to make sure that everybody I vet meets the program, because we can't quite literally afford to approve people who aren't eligible.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But anyways, I'm going to get back to doing what I was doing.
I appreciate it.
And
welcome,
again, as Jay said, and whatnot, even Tyrone just mentioned it. It's a corporate donation. It's people who want to see you succeed. We need you to be diligent. If you're gonna sign up for a Coursera account and not use it, Tyrone usually will send gentle reminders. Hey, welcome to learning. Hey, we encourage you to go learn. If you don't, 3, 4, 5 months from now, we're gonna delete your account. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question here is, right, I recently graduated with my master's in cyber digital forensics, and I also want to do the course, but am I mandated to do it before getting a job? Because being a military spouse, like you guys said earlier, we really don't have hands-on experience besides the ones that I did in school at UMGC. So before getting a job, do I need a certification, or can I just shoot for it and apply to get a job? I have no experience, and just rely on my school hands-on lab work I did. Like, what would you guys advise?
All right, so I'll provide my take on it, and this is on my personal opinion.
Okay.
When it comes to getting into cyber and tech, there are roughly about 2.5 million jobs within the U.S., give or take, that are available. The problem is most of these jobs say they're entry level, but they demand you to have like 5 years of experience for an entry level, right? The thing that you have to be able to understand is, how do you articulate your skill sets? There are multiple ways of doing it. School education does give you hands-on experience, but it may not be applicable to exactly what you'll be doing for a job. So it's important to have some diversity or diversification in your understanding. Doing things like capture the flag or creating a GitHub like with your profile showing you how you're building your own sandbox and things of that nature speaks volumes to your experience and how you're executing. So as long as you're creating a profile based off of your experience in school, that's something that be demonstrated to an employer that's beneficial. What I can tell you though, depending on the industry, it depends on, sometimes it does depend on the certifications. Give an example, if you're trying to get a contract gig or working for the government, Sec Plus is a standard, right? It doesn't necessarily say you know everything about security in a whole, but it says this is the threshold that you surpassed in order to be able to do this particular job. So it's important to get some of these certifications. That way you can also speak to roles, because in the government, as far as contracting or working for the government, that's a requirement. You need to be familiar with Sec Plus. You need to have a good understanding. And you can find this in the 8570, where they have a list of the different certifications that pertain to roles that are important for opportunities. And so if you do your degree, that's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that, and you can speak to that. But you're going to have something where you're showing you're doing a little bit more on top of that. And like I said, degrees kind of get you in the door, but you have to be able to convey what you do and how you do it in order to land opportunities. So even with no experience whatsoever, it's important for you to be able to seek out opportunities to where you can get experience, or seek out opportunities to where you can either apply what you've learned or translate what you know. Now, has anyone gotten jobs without that? Yes, I'm actually posting a job now that it only requires you to have a security clearance, and they don't really need you to have any background whatsoever. And they'll train you on everything they need you to get, and they'll give you a higher clearance if you have the clearance that they're seeking. And the starting pay is like $75,000, which is pretty good for someone that doesn't have any experience at all in cybersecurity or IT. But those roles may be sometimes few and far between, so you have to be able to present the best light of you. So that's what you would want to do, and that's what I would recommend. I would recommend using tools like Veterati to reach out people in the industry. Use ACP to find a mentor that's in cybersecurity, preferably in the state that you live in, so that you can build your network around that. And then start to identify companies and institutions or organizations that you want to work for, and see what their requirements are, and kind of reverse engineer it. This is what they're asking for. This is the type of roles. This is what I would want to do. I'm sorry. Hold on. Might have to mute somebody. Oh, there we go. That will help you align yourself with whatever roles and opportunities, and it'll help you also get access to the job. Because if you just fill out applications all day, then just like we've talked about before, I mean, it's hit or miss, right? Some companies may get back to you and they may not. We don't want you to be in the business of waiting on employers to get back to you. We want you to kind of be after it, and being able to kind of control that narrative. So using programs like Vetisend, ACP, Veterati, Candleful for interview prep, so that you can best be prepared on how best to interview and answer questions related to your experience. Those things all ground you and make you a stronger candidate. And if you can do that, then it is easier for you to get through the door. And I'll give you an example. If you look at one of my recent posts on my Facebook page, LinkedIn, we had somebody from our 3-cert cohort. They do not have a background in cybersecurity. They actually were unemployed for 14 years, and military spouse. And she knocked out 3 certs in our program. So she knocked out Sec Plus, Project Plus, and Scrum, PSM, and then applied for an internship to get some hands-on experience with a company, and the company picked her up. And now she's a full-time cyber analyst, and she just got her offer letter for that. And so it goes to show you got to use your resources. And she's used ACP, she's used Veterati, she's talked to people in the community, she's identified what opportunities are out there, and all these things help you align with it. And so just to say, you just got to put in the work and you'll get there. Does that make sense?
Hey, Jay, let me put somebody on the spot here.
Go ahead.
Merv Rodriguez, she's there. She's been quiet. She's been following. You want to share your experience as well into moving from Navy into cyber?
The only thing is I have a background in IT. So, but what I would say on top of what Jay said is look at communities and organizations like Women in Cyber, Men in Cyber, things like that in your area or regional, because there are a lot of communities and organizations that are here to help you get experience, open your network, right? Your network is your net worth, right? And meet new people who are either at your level or higher to bring you up, right? So it's a lot of networking. Also, home labs help too, right? So you can get that hands-on experience at home. Mentors, right? Mentors that are going to be real with you, right? Not the ones that say, yeah, I got a job and I'm making 150, none of that stuff, right? You need people that's going to be like, hey, it's hard out here, but these are some of the things that I did. Take that in, flip it to make it work for you and go out there and be great. Okay, so connect with me too. I'll help you however I can. If I don't know, I might know someone that knows. I come here just to see how everyone's doing and meet up with some old friends. But yeah, I'll put my LinkedIn in there. It is hard out here, but make those connections. Do some home labs, join some groups, some communities, some organizations. And 9 times out of 10 for veterans, the memberships are like $20 or free.
Yeah, those are all good points. And like, definitely connect with her. She's connected to a lot of great resources and a lot of great organizations. She's worked for an organization that does training for veterans and military spouses. So definitely reach out to her because those are the type of relationships you need to establish. And here's one other thing I want you guys to be really cognizant of. Something I wrote down because I was having this conversation with some folks earlier. If you know what your market value is, please know what your market value is. And what I mean by that is certain jobs, for instance, if I go out and do a cybersecurity role, I have Sec Plus, I have some experience in cybersecurity. So there's a good chance of me knowing and locking down an opportunity. But if I had to get a job in chemical engineering, which I have no experience in, I'm not expecting to get paid a whole bunch because I don't know anything about chemical engineering. I see a lot of people trying to get into tech and demanding a lot of money. You got to be realistic with yourself. If you do not have the skill sets that articulate to the role, you can't make up fictitious numbers. You have to base it all on your market value. And so, like I said, for me, if I'm in tech and I think I understand a lot about tech and my background's in cybersecurity, I have a master's in cybersecurity, I work in cybersecurity, and I've been working in cybersecurity for a long time. I might look at a job for 6 figures and up, right? But if I'm working at chemical engineering, I'm not expecting to make a whole lot. I'm expecting to make probably about 50,000 because I don't have a background in that, right? And so be cognizant of what you bring to the table, be realistic, speak to people in the field, and have realistic expectations. One other thing I would mention is not everything is remote. Everyone hits us up about remote opportunities. That is great for the companies that can provide that. But for the companies that need you in the office, be aware of that. Like that, granted, there are some folks that are able to get those opportunities. And the reason I'm saying this is because this is like an ongoing thing, like for me to kind of convey to people, hey, there's some great opportunities, but your first opportunity may not be the best opportunity that you can jump on, right? And so you have to be cognizant of those things. So here's let me see if I share with everybody. But here is something that can kind of help you kind of figure out what resources work best for you. Let me see, where's my Zoom at? Sorry. There we go. Let me share this. Where are we at? So here's something that we will share that can kind of help you out with some of that guesstimation. But I just want to, speak from a point of truth for you. And I don't want you guys to set yourselves up, because if you come and speak to a recruiter and you don't have experience and you're like, yeah, I want 6 figures. What did you get? What did you earn for that 6 figures? How do you convey? And I'm not saying it's not wrong, but you just have to be able to articulate how do you ascertain 6 figures. And one other thing to note, if you do take a job that they offer you 180,000, 190,000. Please understand that's $180,000 worth of work. So know what you
hours.
yeah, know what you're getting into. That may require, like, I know a lot of people like, I want a $200,000 job. Do you really? Do you want to be called on the weekend? Do you want, I know I don't, but understand some of those things that come with that. And just be mindful and make sure you do your due diligence and due care, because you don't want to get in a position you're like, man, this is not what I thought it would be. So that's that. But this guide here, you can find this on our LinkedIn page. You can find this on our Act Now website. It has a lot of good information to get you started. So if you don't know where to start, what to do, and how to do it, everything that we would say is something to get you moving in the right direction is in here. And so you'll see, and I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but I'm just saying I have transition checklist, military spouse transition, mentorship, networking, resume help, job resources, interview prep. All that stuff is in here. If let me see, for the folks that's in the group, put a 1 in the chat if you're transitioning out the military within the next 3 years. So quite a few people are actually transitioning. So this is a good guide to kind of use. Like, it talks about information that you may not find in TAP or you may not find in other resources. Accruing 60 days of leave, saving 3 months of savings. There's a reason why we say that, because most people don't know your last paycheck in the Navy, or not the military, not the Navy, but the military, you don't get that on time, right? The government has to clear that and make sure that you don't owe any money. So it might be a month or two before you get your last paycheck. And if you don't have any money saved aside, that could be a surprise. So make sure you do use resources like this to kind of identify, when should I be reaching out to do my skill bridge? What should I be doing as far as looking into programs that can help me align with my career tech, my program techs like vet tech and things of that nature. My BDD, right? Benefits on delivery at discharge. Things of those, this is just helpful. And so know those things. Military spouses, there's programs in here that focus on providing you internships that they pay, right? So we have the Skill Bridge for military spouses. Hire Our Heroes provides a program that pays a stipend for you to learn. And those can be programs that help you break into a community that you may not have access to. Tech, healthcare, whatever it is that you're interested in, use these resources. So you have them in here: free premium LinkedIn, free premium account. Free premium account. The Udemy account. You have Breakline, which is awesome, another great program. O2O, which provides you with free certification. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you can use. And this one, I would probably say, is probably one of the more important pages. Everything is important in here, but this teaches you how to narrow down your focus when it comes to looking through resources. I know we provide a lot and it can be overwhelming, but this is the way that you should be breaking it down so it doesn't seem too cumbersome. And that way you're not like, hey, I want to apply to like 30 different things and not get anything done, right? And so I want to be able to make sure that you are efficient with the way you move. And it talks about how to connect with someone in an industry, how to build a network, how many people you should be reaching out to, what organizations, what the things that you should be knowing. And then organizations that you should be joining their calls because they provide a good group of folks that are interested in hiring military spouses, veterans, transition service members. That way you can touch base. But there's a lot of stuff in here, so please feel free to look at it. We'll drop this link in the chat so you guys can have it. And like I said, for those who are on LinkedIn and those who are on Facebook, you can find it either in Facebook in our file section, and for the LinkedIn, you can find it in our LinkedIn website. The Act Now Education is the first link that you'll see, so download that. It's free. But yeah, a lot of different things. Even like hotel for stay. You can stay at the Hilton for a whole week as long as it's related to a job. You can set up an account with Hilton. It depends on what state you're in, but most states have this program with NASWA, which pays for it. And so it's essentially, if you're doing a hiring event or you're going to a job fair and you're moving from one state to the next, you can use this to help you. The only thing you would have to do is worry about how to get to and from, right? The hotel will be covered. And so you can use this for your for if you're the military member, and you can also use this for the military spouse. So you can spend 2 weeks in Disney World. I mean, you can spend 2 weeks wherever you want to go to take advantage of that. So as long as it's related to a job opportunity. So I don't know if anyone got that Disney World hit, but yeah, as long as there's jobs in Florida, yeah, you got it, right? And so that you're looking for. But has scholarships in here. These are full scholarships, CyberCorps. They pay for a full degree. You can't be in the military for these programs, but the DoD STEM, the CyberCorps, they'll get you the degree by their associates, bachelor's, master's, or PhD in cybersecurity, or the STEM, any STEM related degree. And then the payback is you actually are working for an employer, usually federal, state. And once you complete your stint, because you're paying it back as a scholarship for service, once you pay it back, essentially you'll have a job. And the time that you're working, you're paid the whole time. So you're actually an employee of whatever organization. I've known people who've used this to get clearances and work at different agencies. And so there are a lot of great things out there. Just check it out. Let us know what you need. Entrepreneurships. Where's the entrepreneurs at? Do we got any entrepreneurs in the group? Put a 4 in if you're an entrepreneur in the LinkedIn, so I know. I mean, in the chat. All right, I see you, Ruth. All right, see a few. Look, there are a lot of resources out here for the military community to use that are free. Do not dig in your own pocket. Programs that help you understand a lot about business. I've used most of these programs. This is the reason why we're doing what we're doing. Make sure you take advantage of it. It's free. It is free. All right. I digress, but that's pretty much all we had. So let's do a quick Q&A, see if whatever questions you guys have, and then we'll call it.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? Now I just got a question about with the Coursera.
Mm-hmm.
How does it work if I already have an active account? Do I need to make a new one?
So if you have an active account, is it paid for, or is it through another organization?
It's like I made it earlier this week when I was taking some courses. It's just on the 7-day trial right now.
Oh, that's fine. Like, as long as you're not paying for it, it's fine. But when you get our account, then you use that as your main account. What is it going to do is going to just create a catalog in your account. So it's going to be very separate from like that first account that you create. Is going to be different to the Act Now account. You're going to just see it's just going to be like 2 different tabs. It's different. But when they start trying to charge you, you can just delete that account and use our account. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the progress on the certs, like, does that transfer over?
No,
or like
it does not. It does not transfer over. So if you do whatever program you start with is a program that you finish with, so it doesn't necessarily transfer over, unfortunately.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
Cool. All right. Awesome. What other questions you guys have?
I have a question. There are 2 different Facebook groups. One is Act Now Education, and the other one is the resource group. Do we just post our email address in the resource group?
Yeah, the resource group is the group. The Act Now Education is a page. It's just our page where we post information. There's no like group aspect to it. But the group is where you'll see if you guys are not familiar with the group, that's where everything happens. There's so many resources in there because, like I said, we can't answer everybody. But imagine 64,000 people sharing resources related to something that's helped them come up. That's essentially what it is. And so, join the group, which is the Military Resource Act Now Education group, Facebook group, and then that's where you make the post.
Okay. Okay. So I think I'm complete with everything. I just wanted to double check before I got off the phone.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions?
Jay, I got a Splunk question if you got a second.
Yeah.
So I'm currently going through you guys already to do 22 courses.
I'm sorry, we can barely hear you. We heard you start off strong, but then it just faded.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm going through you guys and I'm getting the 22 courses done. I've got 21 complete, and there's an issue with the 22nd one. I'm working through Splunk to get that done. It's
Okay.
a technical issue. My question is when this is done and I contact you guys about a voucher, which exam am I contacting you on a voucher for? Is it for core user or core power user or multiple vouchers that you guys go through?
It'll be the first one, core user, and then when you get done with that exam, it'll be core power user, and then when you get done with that exam, it'll be the next one. So it'll be in a session of that. So as soon as you get done with the first one, you hit us back up, repeat the process. We're trying to work with Splunk to figure out a better way of doing it, but for now, that's what it is. They'll send us the individual voucher per course that you're doing. And I mean, we have had a handful completed so far, so it just takes some time. But yeah, you could definitely knock it out that way. And I think the fact that you already have the 21 done, you're already eligible for the core user. I think just the other two require you to have them all complete. So I would just send us an email so that we can get you your voucher.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. What other questions we have?
I have one. Okay, so after we're done the courses, how can we, you probably answered this before, but I didn't catch on to it. What email address or page can we reach out to you guys directly to get a voucher?
I'm sorry, I can't. I only heard a bit of that. Can you? It was a little bit.
So how can we, or how can I reach back out to one of you guys to get like to the next step to get a voucher after I'm done with the course?
So when you apply for your Splunk, you'll get an email from us. You just reapply to that email and say, hey, I completed these courses and I get my voucher. And then I'll connect you to Splunk, the admin, and then they'll send you a voucher from there. So real simple. Okay. It'll be already in the email that you'll get.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, so I have a question. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was well, I'm taking this cybersecurity class on Coursera, and once I'm done with the courses, I would need certification exam. Do I reach out to you guys in order to get a the voucher, or how is that gonna go?
No, yeah. For Coursera, there's no need for that. The Coursera doesn't have vouchers. Coursera is just a account that you can have that has multiple clowns. Multiple courses. Coursera has 7,000 courses, 500 specialties, and 27 certificates that you can access. So there's no like vouchers back and forth. Coursera, once you get your account, Tyrone approves it, and then you can take as many certificates that they have or classes that you have. Splunk requires they have the courses, but they have certifications that you can earn at the end of you taking the classes, and so that's the real difference.
Okay, can you put the Splunk link again? Sorry.
Yeah, so that's on our website. If you go to actnoweducation.org, you go to programs, it's listed there. We can drop it. He just dropped it in the chat, but yeah, it's there.
Thank you.
Okay. What other questions you guys have?
Getting a certification as a product owner, and I know somebody had mentioned earlier about a program for veterans, and I just wanted to verify the correct website for that.
Yeah, Agile for Patriots.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, thank you.
Yes, it's a great program, awesome. But they will not give. Well, I won't say they won't. Once you get, because you have to. Do you have the Scrum certification already?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and which Scrum? Is it Scrum.org or CSM?
The Alliance, Scrum Alliance.
Okay, so you would have to do, because this one is with Scrum.org. So you would have to do Scrum.org's their first one with Agile for Patriots, and then once you get done with that, then you can go into the project management. The product owner.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Name is Jesse. So I kind of joined a little bit late. I was wondering if
that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite lines. I've joined a little bit late. Imagine if Jay joined a little bit late. And I'm just joking. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you do a quick recap on how to get the free accounts?
Oh yeah, you know what? I got you. This is being recorded. So if you go to Facebook, you go on LinkedIn, it's there. And you can, or YouTube, you can watch it, the whole thing. We made sure we recorded for everyone that missed the first part of it. So it's definitely there. You can just watch it over. That work?
That worked. Another question I have, I had someone saying something about you guys have two Facebook accounts. One is the resource and something is the other one. So I'm kind of confused.
Yeah,
how do you get it?
Well, good question. One is the Facebook group and the other one is the Facebook page. We have a Facebook page where we just share information. And the reason we have the page is so if people are not part of that group, they can still get the content and you can share it outside of the group. Whereas the group, everything is internal, all the information, all the resources, everything that we share. The reason why we tell people to be a part of the group is because when we come up or we come across a new resource, the first place we share is our group. When we were giving away free PMP certifications, we shared it in the group. People found out afterwards and then we put it out, but like stuff that we have, that we offer, we try to give it to the group because those are our members. And so everyone is, and there's no like cost or anything to join our group. It's free. Everything is free. But yeah. Yes, if you check the chat, Annabelle is already about to post it, and then you can just jump on that. Cool? Absolutely. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
My issue I'm having right now. We are currently in Germany and we're supposed to be PCS into another, like overseas again, like another country. Which is, I might as well say it, Korea. So that's just my thing I'm facing right now. Like I went online and saw the different certification I signed up and everything.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you anymore. It went.
Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, I was saying that I'm currently in Germany.
Okay.
Like my husband, we are stationed in Germany. So the opportunity that was posted on the group page, the IT opportunity without any experience, stuff like that. What state or country or does it matter? Because I've seen that it's not online. It's not like remote job.
Yeah, that is not a remote position, and you do have to be in the Fort Meade, Maryland area. However, there was another post made that made by someone I'm associated with on LinkedIn that the federal government has an opportunity working for a CISA, which is Cyber Infrastructure Systems. Don't quote me on it. I don't remember, but something cyber related, and they have a remote position and they have openings. And that particular person that shared the link to it, he's willing to help people refine their resume and their cover letter so that they can get a job. I've had a lot of people hit me up about that as well. I am not the point for that. I put the point and his contact information on the LinkedIn and on the Facebook post. So please reach out to him. And I've even had people say, hey, this doesn't seem legit. The same time someone said that, there was an individual who already took advantage of the information, sent his resume in, got it already modified or for the role, speaking to the person who shared it. And now they're in the line of trying to get a job. And so take advantage of the opportunities. Don't let doubt seep in and slow you down from what's available to you. So like I said, we don't post information that's not beneficial or useful. And we're not trying to steer anybody wrong. So
how can I access his page or his information to reach out to him?
It's on the post. It's on the post. So it's either on you looking at the LinkedIn or you look down on Facebook post. Either or the information is shared there. And so if you're interested in trying to break into the CSA cyber program as a GS, I think it's 9, 10, 11, and 12, then you can at a fully remote position, then reach out to him and coordinate. I don't want to say it over because I don't want like everyone just hitting them up without reading the information.
I get it. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. I do have a question from Cody. That's a good question, Cody. He asked me, what is the difference between Coursera and Udemy? A couple of things. So Coursera is mainly focused on a lot of different skill sets that you can find. So like if you are trying to do interview prep, if you're trying to do, some certifications, if you're trying to learn SQL, if you're trying to learn how to use Excel, Coursera has relationships with schools and universities. They also offer micro degrees, which is not something that's on our platform. We don't offer those things for the micro degrees, but they have a lot of different courses that you can take advantage of, specialties that you can utilize. Udemy is somewhat focused on certifications. There's other material on there, but they're typically good for the certifications. Like if you go to someone like Jason Dion, who's really well renowned in like Sec Plus, Andrew Ramdale for the PMP. Like there's a lot of different resources on there, and you can get your PDUs from that as well. And I was also told you can get your PDUs from the Google PMP course if you're interested in trying to do that. But the main difference is that, right? Udemy is a enterprise focused on helping you get geared up for a certification, but they do have other materials. And then Coursera is also, they have a lot of different resources available, but to help you align with whatever it is they're trying to do for upscale, rescale. I can tell you Coursera gives you, for their certifications, they have certificates, sorry. They have, like I said, the 27 certificates. I want to say it's 182 college credits that you get from taking those. And so anyone that has an Act Now account, you get those for free. And so as long as you just complete the course. So the Google PMP, the Google Project Management, or the Google courses that they have available, the IT support, they're all worth college credits. I think the IT support is worth 12 college credits. So take advantage of that, utilize that. Yeah, so there's a difference. Go ahead, Mr. Walker.
I really had more questions about the intellectual point because I've seen it around, but I never really like tried it. And I'm always posting in the group chat.
Yeah, I would definitely reach out to Merle and she'll get you up to speed on that. That's where she works.
Okay. Well, I'll just reach out to her. But I also heard you talking about the scholarships that we can receive for STEM programs.
Yes.
I mean, I'm currently a computer science student, but I really only took this program because I couldn't go into my I couldn't go back into engineering.
Mm-hmm.
My engineering degree, my GPA had hit below the requirements.
Yes.
But I know that I could still, I have a lot of college credits towards STEM engineering.
Yeah, depending on what resource you use. And so if you go to the notebook, a lot of that information is provided there. And you just have to see what schools, because it's associated with schools, degrees, and opportunities. And so, yeah, there's a bunch of cyber or STEM schools that you can choose from, but you have to go through that process. And so use the notebook, the Act Now Education notebook, to be able to do that. And then, yeah, you should be good to go on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate
it. Awesome. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's all the questions I see. Trying to see if there's any other additional questions. Nope, doesn't look like any. Oh wait, I have a few ones. Can a military spouse take advantage of the Scrum Master program certification? Yes, the program that we're doing in August is specifically only for military spouses, for Scrum. And so if you don't have your Scrum certification, be aware that we're going to put out some content for it. We put out the sign up for it. And so you'll see where you can sign up. And we're taking, don't know how many we're taking, but we're going to try as many as possible to get them through Scrum Master so that you guys can get certified and then hopefully land job opportunities. So that's our goal. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us on this Saturday. We do this every Saturday. We try to provide you some content that's beneficial and useful. And I know sometimes we try to stick to like an hour and a half, and sometimes we go a little over that. But it's all good as long as we're supporting the community. Please share this information, share this resource. In the link, for those who are still on the call, Abenal is going to share revenues. Reviews help us tremendously, and it helps us talk to other opportunities, get other opportunities on board. So if you felt this information was beneficial, you felt this information was useful, please write a review, a Google review, and mean the world to us, because essentially it allows us to continue to do what we do, speak to organizations about the value that we bring. And if you don't really think that's the case, I promise you this last Friday, I spoke down to an organization that has a pretty big influence on the military community. And one of the first questions they asked me is like, okay, great, you guys do this stuff, but what does your reviews look like? Who are you supporting? And I was able to bring up with my phone our reviews and then go straight down. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's talk. Now, imagine if I didn't have that conversation when it happened, and we wouldn't be bringing on the resource that we're going to be bringing on. So please continue to do that to help us help you. I'm still currently active duty. Everybody on the team is either volunteers, or veterans, or transition service members or military spouses. We are here to support you guys. Please let us know what we can do better. If you think there's anything that we do better, and definitely connect with me. My network is your network. So have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you in the group. Have a good one, everyone.